Ancient Egyptian theater. Greeks may have believed that they are the inventors of theater. Depending on how one defines theater, though, interprets ancient records. It can be claimed that the Egyptians, while they did not construct special venues for their plays, preceded them in the public performance of shows which were mostly pageant-like, religious in character, and to a large extent devoid of drama.
Royal clothing is particularly well documented, as well as the clothing and crowns of the pharaohs. The pharaohs would wear leopard skins over their shoulders and added a lion's tail that would hang from their belt.
During the Old, Middle, and New Kingdom, ancient Egyptian women often wore simple check dresses called calisaries. Women's clothing in ancient Egyptian was more conservative than men's clothing. The dresses were held up by one or two straps and were worn down to the ankle, while the upper edge could be worn above. The length of the dress denoted the social class of the wearer. Beading or feathers were also used as an embellishment on the dress. Over the dress, women had a choice of wearing shawls, capes, or robes. The shawl was a piece of clothing about 4 feet wide by 13 or 14 feet long. That was mostly worn pleated as well. Female clothing only changed slightly through the millennia. Draped clothing sometimes gave the expression of completely different clothing. It was made of hype, a very fine muslin.
Children wore no clothes until 6 years old. Once they turned 6 years old, they were allowed to wear clothing to protect them from the dry heat. A popular hairstyle among the children was a side lock on the right side of the head. Even though children usually wore no clothing, they wore jewelry such as anklets, bracelets, collars, and hair accessories. When they grew up, they wore the same styles as their parents.
Jewelry. Jewelry was very popular in ancient Egypt, no matter the social class. It was very heavy and rather voluminous. The Egyptians became very skilled when making jewelry for turquoise metals like gold and silver, and small beads. Both men and women adorned themselves with earrings, bracelets, rings, necklaces, and neck collars that were brightly colored. Those who could not afford jewelry made from gold or other stones would make their jewelry from colored pottery beads. One creation that was specific to ancient Egypt was the Georgian, an assembly of metal discs worn on the chest, either or bearskin, or over a shirt and then attached in the back.
Footwear was the same for both genders. They consisted of sandals of leatherwork or for the priestly class, papyrus. Since Egyptians were usually barefoot, sandals were worn on special occasions or at times when their feet might get hurt.
First source is http://en.wiki.org/wiki/clothing_in_ancient_Egypt.
The second source is http://www.rashafam.org.il/ad/Egypt/ceremonies/theater.htm.